Yo, what's good people, it's Cactus, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make hard Detroit type beats for artists such as Tee Grizzley and Rio Da Yung O.G. Or if you're from the UK, then Bee Tunde. So I'm talking fast paced, dark and energetic styles. Most of the sounds I'll be using are going to be from the Sacred Trap Suite, which I dropped recently, because there's over 1,000 unique sounds in there and you can cook up so many different styles with it. So if you want to check it out, I've left a link to it in the description. And let's get straight into it. Alright, so whenever I'm making Detroit type beats, I usually start with the BPM at about 100, and then I like to start with any type of key, whether it's a piano, electric key, or just another interesting sound, because we can always change it later. But using keys just makes it a bit easier to hear the melody. So let's go to my Abyss analog lab bank, part of the Sacred Trap Suite. I will use the Death Drop preset. I'm not going to worry about scales for now. I'm just going to draw in a melody that I like. So we want to go for something repetitive, sort of catchy, but not too boring. So let's just see. So could even take that and copy it. It's even that there. Or we could just go up like that. And then from here, we're just going to play around with the velocity a bit. So you could use Alt and R and just randomize it a bit, but I like to do it a bit more manually. Alright, so we've got that. Turn this one down. Or we could make a cut there. Something like that. Let's pitch this up an octave. And we'll copy these down. And to make it a bit more natural, we could even just bring some of the notes off grid. Let's bring the BPM up to like 105. Alright, then from here we could come up with a little top line as well. Something like that. Might even extend this bass note and bring this one over. Actually, you know what? Let's use this giant piano. I haven't used this in a while. Bit of a different vibe. And I've just got some delay and reverb on that. But then we'll add RC20 and we'll just use my vintage piano preset. But you can copy these settings if you don't have the bank. Just bring the magnetic down a bit. Then we'll go back into Analog Lab, and I just want to use a layer of strings, but maybe even just one note. I will use the string support preset in my Aurora drill bank. Next up, I think some accents will work well with this, so I'm just going to bring the pattern into the playlist, go to the Sacred Trap Suite, and then we'll find some accents that work. And these will all tempo sync, so as soon as I drag them in, they'll lock in with the BPM. Let's try this. Cold already. I think we could filter that one out a bit though, just so it's a bit more in the background. Let me throw some pancake on there as well. Right, and then I just want another layer for the keys. Not the bass notes, but just this main melody here. So we'll take that, and then we'll just find some electric keys or some plucks or something like that. Let's see where they got in contact. We'll go to Cloud Supply. And yeah, we could grab something like this. I'm going to filter this right out and then add some halftime. Might even take sound shifter, bring it before halftime, and then just bring it up an octave. I think I want to switch those strings out. Let's get something from Strings of Winter. Yeah, that might be better. Alright, then I want to take this piano, just mute the top notes, and then I'll render it. This is a trick I use quite a bit, but I'm just trying to create a top layer. So I'll set this to stretch, pitch this up an octave, we'll add an EQ, filter it. And then we'll throw in some Portal. We'll go to my Pulse Wave bank, which is part of the Sacred Trap Suite. And then we could just try any of the presets really. If we wanted to take it a step further, we could actually pitch it up another octave and then throw on some halftime. So it's separate to the main piano, but the melody will be a little bit different. Let's try this Madness one. That sounds kind of cold. Get some reverb on there. Okay, and for the melody, you probably don't need anything more than that, you know. I've got the piano, top layer, couple accents for texture. And if you listen to a lot of these beats, there's only like 3 or 4 layers. You don't need to overdo it. So let's throw in some drums and then we'll see how it sounds. So we've got the pattern for drums, and of course we'll go to the Sacred Trap Suite. Sometimes I like to use a heavy snare, but a lot of Detroit beats also have a light one as well. So we could use something like this, but we could bring up this too. Grab a hat as well, then we'll fill each 2-step, but we want it faster, so we'll copy these as well. Let's just use an essential. Then we'll just add a few rolls as well. Yeah, maybe like that. It's kind of simple. Gotta bring this up more. Alright, let's get an 808 in. And most of these beats are either using a Zay or a classic Detroit bass. And I actually designed one for this kit. This is like my new go-to, so we're gonna run with this, but I think we'll use the spins at some point as well. And you know what? We could even pitch the whole thing up. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, maybe we could switch that bit. Alright, let's extend this pattern because we'll just switch it up in the second half. Just a little bit like this. There we go. The Detroit bass and kicker sounding sick, but I do want to grab the spins in there just because it works for these type of beats. All I need to do is copy the Detroit bass in, and then we can just alternate them. Nice. Alright, let's go to open hats. And these aren't classic Detroit sounds, but I always like to mix my own style in. I just want one before the snare, and then this one with the velocity down so it cuts. Alright, let's copy the main snare, but in the second one, we'll bring this back down. Then we'll just find some space for it. This is kind of like a perk or counter snare. I think just that one. Second time around, we'll just bring the velocity down. Copy it. Just helps with the bounce. Or we'll bring it over so it doesn't clash with the kick. Then of course we've got to get the Detroit stomp in there, man. Switch it up here. Alright, I'm gonna grab this stab. It's more for West Coast beats, but I like the sound of it in these too. Beat sounding mad now. Let's grab a zap as well. Try that though. There we go. Then going back to this bass. It's gonna sound mad, so let's start arranging it. Might keep the spins for the hook, and then when it gets to this part, we'll bring in the Detroit one. Let's make it intro, so we'll just take this piano. You know what I didn't even think to do before is to just pitch this whole piano up a full octave like this. Because we could have that in one part. Stops it becoming too boring. Let's cut these. Mad. I'm gonna make a better drop though soon. I want to stutter it, but I just want to get the full arrangement down. Let's bring the zaps over there. Yeah, for this bit we can just cut the drums. Let's bring this high piano back too. We'll bring in the high piano there, this count melody here. And then in this part, we'll play the spins for the first few notes, and then it can switch to the Detroit one like this. Okay, and then at the end of the verse, I want to add another stutter, so I need to render the melody. So I've got everything linked to an instrument bus. We'll hit Alt and R, and then let's mute all of these. We'll try this as well. Then we'll go to rises, and I just want a short transition. Literally that. And then we've just got that same stutter at the end of the verse, and we'll copy everything over. Okay, let's have a listen from the beginning.
Cactus.
And it just goes up an octave. Drops crazy. And into the verse. That Detroit bass is so sick. So we kept the verse really simple. We got the spins. So I hope you're feeling this one, man. And if you want to check out the Sacred Trap Suite, the link's in the description. Or if you want to keep watching videos just like it, click up here.